Okay, I'm making this quick video of my RC workbench slash area because I'm getting ready to tear everything down because we're getting ready to move, and I've had this for about the last year or so and I'm kind of proud of it, and I figured I'd take a video before it has to be all ripped down. Here's my workbench. It's about 7 feet long, about with a 5-foot extension on the side. So underneath is a subwoofer for computers, surround sound. You'll notice some handles there. I actually can pull that out so I have access to everything behind here because I made a nice storage unit area. Over here, I like my label maker and I like having everything labeled, and I hate turning different lights on, so I have everything on switches. These are just some of the drawers just to keep all the stuff organized and stuff. You'll notice I use a lot of these rubber mats. You can get them over at Harbor Freight. They're like $7 a roll, and they just make everything nice. When I spill oil or anything, it just cleans up nice. Put a nice little dry erase board in here. A little TV and a couple shelves. Had a couple old kitchen cabinets here. I mainly just keep a lot of our controllers and everything in here. Up top here, we just keep some of the storage bins. Try to keep a lot of our spare parts organized. My wife got me a nice sign, neon sign, and I'm known for leaving my chargers on all the time. So I wired it into the same switch as my chargers here. So when my light's on, I know that I have my batteries charging, so I won't forget to leave them on. Underneath here I have a nice little switch right there, and I'll show you what that's for. Is that if I pull this out, I have my chargers, and if I flip the switch, it turns both chargers on. And because I'm real lazy to stick my hand too far on a shelf to plug everything in, so having this on a little rolling shelf comes in handy. There's a couple other storage bins here. Now my son really wanted me to show some of his trucks, and especially some of the neon lights we have. This, if you ever go down to Disneyland and they have that little shop outside Disneyland where you can build your own little Disney car. This was one of my son's Mater trucks that I stole, and we put a bunch of lights on it and put it on this chassis. So now my son's Mater does about 50 miles an hour, which is kind of nice. We actually were able to take the hood off. It can actually mount right there, so I did not have to drill holes in the hood. This is one of my son's trailers that we built for him. He's got his own nice little toolbox. Everything kind of pivots. I do have ramps for him. I just haven't mounted them underneath, but you will see that it's got neon lights too. The other truck of my son's is this one. We actually went down, and I had an extra RC truck and he wanted a new body, so we got this little semi truck one, and you see it's got a bunch of lights also. You can do the little blinking light kit on it, and it's got a whole bunch of lights. But the cool thing we did with this one is he actually wanted a working tow truck. So we actually were able to get this to work, and it actually works pretty good. For not really having hardly any money in these things, they're some fun toys. This is our little pegboard. It just helps us hold some of our stuff. Another little rolling toolbox. We have a couple cabinets here, some old ones I got from a family member, and we just kind of painted them up to make them look a little nicer. Just keep a lot of our spare tires. There's some spare parts and stuff in here. I normally don't do this, but once again my son really wanted to show off his neon lights. So here are some of our RC trucks. We mainly just have Slashes. They're fun. We're not racers. Like, we just got into the sport about 2 years ago, and we mainly just like bashing our trucks around, taking them to the beach or just goofing off. So we're not racers. We just like having fun. We have a couple of four-wheel drive Platinums here. A couple we're working on. I don't have a battery in my son's truck here, but he wanted a police truck. So I actually painted him one, and he's actually got a lot of lights on here and working sirens. And we usually take this body down when we go to the beach. Here's mine I use when I go to the beach. A nice Chevy body. If I can show you some of this stuff. It's all got working lights. Actually painted the Fox logos in here. They're not stickers. And all these lights kind of program. Put some nice paddle tires on them. They work great at the beach. Here's my son's crawler. This nice little Wraith. We do love putting LED lights on everything. They cost next to nothing, and they are just a whole lot of fun to drive at night. One of our projects is this is another two-wheel drive Slash, but I found this body online for 10 bucks. It's all plastic. We kind of try to do like an old gasser theme. Some big tires, little ones on the front, and some of the lights we installed, some headlights, some in the blower, but if you can tell, there's lights mounted on the sides of the motor down here. And we actually have some tail lights on here also. It's so much fun to drive your trucks at night. We just have a great time doing this. Here's my RC toolbox that I have batteries mounted inside there, so I can actually take my charger and charge up my own batteries, and we'll do a video on that later. And the other thing we have, this is my son's trailer. This is the first one I built. Didn't have a clue on what I was doing. I literally have like $25 into this trailer. And this is actually made out of carbon fiber. So I went to Home Depot and bought some of the spare parts, and mostly everything I just had laying around my shop. If you flip the switch here, there's some lights there. Got a bunch of lights underneath. And unfortunately, the other night, I broke these lights because apparently going about 40 miles an hour through a bunch of tumbleweeds doesn't work good. My son, we also have some ramps that mount up and underneath here, and they just slide on there. I can show you the size of this, and we do have hitches to mount on our trucks to tow it. That's the size of it. We've got these little bungee straps, and we can actually tow this trailer about 40 miles an hour with a truck on it, and it stays on there really well. Can pivot, and for not really having a clue what I was doing, this thing actually came out pretty nice. And I have to say big thanks to the guys over at Sky Hunter Hobbies up here in the AV. They're a great shop, and they're always willing to help you out. One of the other things I have in my shop is this workbench. It's on wheels, and one thing you'll notice that there's a miter saw mounted underneath it. Well, that's because this whole table will flip 180 degrees. I just have some tabs on the side that I can pull out, and it flips over. It's a really nice space saver. The other one I have another cabinet with my drill press and my sander mounted underneath there. Same thing. This is center hinge. Flip the latches, and this whole thing will flip 180 degrees. So I have everything in one cart. It's on wheels. And yes, you do notice there is more rubber matting. But for a quick, easy little shelf, by just using one 2x4 and a couple hinges, I've actually got a pretty strong shelf. And it's just a super simple design, and it folds down. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little RC work area, and you guys have a good day.